Hello everyone, welcome to Strip Club.
Hi.
My name is Daniela and I'm coming to you from Cozy Creative Center, the retail arm of Cozy Quilt Designs. And today we have a very, very special quilt to present to you. What we have behind me is a quilt called True Companion. And it is in honor of Canine Companions for Independence, a wonderful organization that we're going to tell you about in just a moment. But before we begin, I want to tell you that a portion of proceeds of this pattern will be donated to this wonderful organization. And to tell you why we like this organization so much, I want to introduce Cindy and Hawk.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cindy, and this is Hawk. He's a service dog in training for Canine Companions for Independence. Hawk is 11 months old, and I got him when he was 8 weeks old. I will have him for approximately a year and a half, and then when he's about 20 months old, he'll go to a regional center, which is in Oceanside here in Southern California, to learn his job skills and hopefully be placed with a person with a disability other than blindness, which, by the way, is at no cost to the person. As his puppy raiser, I'm responsible for teaching him basic obedience and socializing him. That means he goes to work with me, he goes shopping, he loves the quilt store. And we have classes, so I take him to class twice a month where I'm taught to teach him. The graduates, the things that he will do for his graduate, he can open doors, turn on light switches. Sometimes they take items of clothing off. He'll be able to pick up stuff off the ground. He can take money to a cashier or a credit card. You gotta watch him though. And that's about it. Do you guys have any questions? Yes?
Being that you're raising him and he's with you for a year and a half, does he get the attachment level? Does he get any anxiety with being away from you after that point?
She asked if, after he's been with me for a year and a half, if he has any anxiety, which is really interesting because a lot of people say, what about you? Do you have anxiety? There is a group, there's probably 90 puppy raisers in the San Diego area, and we say it takes a village. So we trade our dogs back and forth, and we leave them home sometimes, we take them with us sometimes. So for the most part, no, they do not get an attachment to us. Some dogs have separation anxiety, but most of our dogs don't. It's really sad when we go to turn in and not. So we turn in our dogs, we hand the leash to the person that's going to take them back to the kennel. They don't even turn around. They're like, okay, yeah, new adventure, I'm good.
I'd be crushed.
Well, on the other hand, me being crushed, I just trade him in for a puppy. So turn in is usually on Friday, and pick up puppy day is on Wednesday. And so I have 4 or 5 days, no puppy, no big deal. Clean the house, get the fur out, and then you get your new little bundle of love. Anyone else? I love doing it. I have been raising puppies since 2001, and so Hawk is number 10. And although not all the dogs go on to be service dogs, they all touch lives. I mean, if he never gets to be a service dog, he's touched all of your lives. And I don't know the other ways that, somebody I'll see on the street, somebody I let the dog pet, if he doesn't get what I say a real job, he'll go on to be a pet. He might be a therapy dog. The household that he lives in might have a child, an adult that needs some comfort some way. I mean, they all touch lives. It's just awesome.
Why wouldn't he go on to be a service dog?
Because not everybody is meant to be a doctor, a secretary. Not everybody's meant to be a service dog. One of my friend's dogs was an escape artist. She wanted to be with people all the time. She didn't care who she's with. And actually, Aura is living with Jan, and every time I come over, Aura says, "Take me, take me." So because she needed to be with someone all the time, that wasn't good for her. But Aura's a therapy dog. She does an awesome job doing that. So, yes?
What started you to do this?
What started me to do this? Well, when I was 12, I wanted to raise guide dogs. And you could only raise guide dogs if you belonged to 4-H, and I didn't belong to 4-H. There was no 4-H in my area, and so I waited. And that was, Canine Companions for Independence has been around since 1975. And in 1980, I moved back into the general vicinity, but I moved in with my mom. And I said, "Okay, let's do this." And she said, "I'm not giving up a puppy." So I waited almost 20 more years before I got to do this. And I have my first dog back, and he's a gift. And he's just he's too much of an engineer. He wants things the same way all the time. And even now at 14, he wants to do things the same way all the time, and that doesn't work. You need to be flexible to be a service dog. But it's awesome. I love doing this. I will probably do this until I can no longer do it. Yes?
So as a volunteer trainer, do you also pay the cost of food, the vet bills, whatever, or does the organization pay that for you?
He's my charitable contribution. So I pay for everything, but I can deduct him on my taxes. Yes?
It seems like many of the dogs are golden labs. What breeds seem to work best? Is there any, I mean, the ones that you seem to see are all of the same breed, but I've also seen pictures of different other animals that are service dogs that are not goldens or labs or whatever.
Okay, she asked about the breed, Goldens and Labs. Canine Companions for Independence has their own breeding program, and we use black labs, yellow labs, and Goldens, and mixes thereof. Our dogs are highly trained service dogs placed with people with physical disabilities other than blindness. And Canine Companions has found that Goldens, Labs, and Golden Crosses are the best deal for that. A lot of other organizations, there's rescue organizations, and there's just other organizations that have dogs that work the best for them. So mostly our dogs are, but they're breeding too. All you people, see how calm this dog is? This is not a real lab. Labs that are not bred for temperament are just, there's a lot of energy. So he is allowed to be a regular dog, and when he doesn't have his vest on, he's crazy. Yes, he does. Somebody else?
Who choose the name of the dog?
The dogs, all the puppies are named the same alphabet letter, just so we can keep track of our dogs. And the names come, the breeder caretakers make suggestions, and then Santa Rosa, which is where headquarters is, has a database. Hawk is actually Hawk 6.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I was thinking.
There are no working dogs with the same names. So actually, I know Hawk 5, and he died probably 2 months before Hawk was born. So they just pick a litter letter, and it's magic. I think if you go to a gala and want to pay to name a dog, I think it's like $10,000. So, or be a breeder caretaker.
And the people that receive the dog, do they keep the same name, or sometimes they change?
Generally, they do. I have known of instances, she asked about keeping the same name. I have known of an instance where the dog had a strange first name, and the person could not pronounce it, so they changed it to something similar. Is that it?
You told a story last time about a child that
Oh.
we tell that story.
One of the questions I get as a puppy raiser is, how can you give this dog up? Because I adore him. He is awesome. But to be able to give the gift of a dog to someone, and so when people say, how can you give this dog up? I say, Matthew, you need to go to a graduation. www.cci.org is the website. You can find further information, and they're streaming the graduations, which are 4 times a year, and graduations are nationwide. We have facilities in Northern California, Southern California, Ohio, Florida, and Texas, and New York. So if you have friends, you guys should go to a graduation, but if you can't, watch one streaming live. And when the kids and the adults get the dogs, it's just amazing. And I can't imagine not having a dog in my life. So,
Is
there we go.
Matthew a person?
Matthew was a person. He was a little boy who got his dog, and the puppy raisers get to turn over the leash. So I have my dog for 20 months. I take him up to the center, and we have a graduation ceremony, and I turn my dog in, and then 6 to 9 months later, hopefully I get to see him again and hand the leash over to the graduate. And that's when you see, you hand the leash over, and the face just lights up. It's like, Hawk! And they've only known, he's only known this dog for 2 weeks, not even a whole 2 weeks. So graduation's a good time to clean out your teardrops.
So they go up to those 2 weeks, the people that are going to receive the dog.
2 weeks of team training is when the dog and the person learn to work together. I'm not real sure how it works because I'm a puppy raiser, but team training is 2 weeks. So everybody goes up on a Monday, and I think like 2 months prior, the people have gotten, they go through an application process, and they get a phone call that says, okay, you're slated to come up for team training. We have a dog to match for you. And generally they have half again as many dogs as people. The process is magic because I have gone to every graduation since 2001, and there's 4 a year, and an average of 7 to 10 people getting dogs. And the way they match them, it's magic. You're like, how did you know that? But as puppy raisers, we turn in reports, and I guess the graduates have to fill out, the applicants have to fill out extensive applications. So I think the first day they talk to the people and kind of do things, and then on Tuesday they meet the dogs and kind of pre-match them, and on Wednesday is when the puppy raisers get the phone call that said, your dog's been matched. And so then they spend approximately, they take them home on the weekends or do the dorm room. Canine Companions in most of the regions have dorm rooms for the people to stay so they don't have to stay in hotels. Lunches and dinners are provided. We take good care of our graduates. And then, yeah, so basically 2 weeks. They know their dog. They learn how to deal with their dog, all the little quirks that their dog has, and then there we go. Yes?
Do you service veterans?
Do we service veterans? Canine Companions just started probably 4 or 5 years ago with a veterans initiative. So doing an outreach to the veterans to place dogs with service members with physical disabilities. And now, we we place them with physical disabilities, but we're finding that a lot of the service members have PTSD as well. And so now we're working with the VA on a study, so we may just place PTSD dogs. But mostly it's physical disabilities, and yes, we do have a veterans initiative.
I would think that maybe those dogs that don't get to become companions would make an excellent pet. I have a friend who is autistic, and one of the puppies didn't make it through the training.
Mhm.
It just became a pet, and he has just improved immensely.
Some of our dogs, she was saying that she has a friend with an autistic child, that a release dog, a dog that didn't make the program, has helped that child immensely. Some of our dogs are placed with autistic children. We do service dogs, which is a person and their dog, generally a person in a wheelchair, but the person can take care of the dog on their own. We have skilled companions, which is often a child, because we don't give our dogs to under 18 without a parent, or an older person that can't take care of the dog by themselves. Facility dogs, which work with either physical or mental disabilities, and a lot of times autism is involved in that. And then we have hearing dogs. And all the hearing dogs are trained out of Santa Rosa. You guys are all welcome to go to your regional center, which for us is Oceanside, and check the website and go on a tour day and see what they do, and ask people that know a different aspect than I. www.cci.org. And I have bookmarks if you care.